Welcome to Victory Online. This episode of our podcast, Bob Bruce is talking to Dave and Benji about Andy's Men's Club and men's mental health in the Portsmouth area.
You know, I always find it wonderful to have special guests in, particularly when the subject is a little bit raw and people can be honest with me. And I have Dave and Benji in from Andy's Man Club, which is a suicide prevention charity. So I'm going to immediately over to David and say, David, just tell us a little bit about that to get us going.
Okay, so Andy's Man Club is a free peer-to-peer support group that was started after a family tragically lost a brother and son.
Right.
They came together and built up a small group of people that wanted to come together and just talk about their problems. And it has grown UK-wide. We have one club in Portsmouth South at the moment. We get about 40 to 60 people coming through every week. And as of this Monday coming up, we're opening a new one in Drayton as well at the community centre. We meet
keep going,
every Monday, 7 to 9 p.m, apart from bank holidays. It's completely free of charge. And it's just a blue group of blokes who come together every week, talk about their issues, and it's
so that's generally mental health. Not all people, not all those 60 want to kill themselves.
It's not all just mental health, to be fair. We have blokes from all age ranges. We get 18-year-olds, we get 80-year-olds. We get people who are suffering depression, anxiety, people facing addiction. We also get people who are new to the area, want to meet new people, or some people just enjoy coming as a part of their weekly pub.
So it could just be a social club?
Yeah. I wouldn't say a social club in a way, because it's not fun and games. There's no drinking, no music or anything like that.
But we can have fun without doing all those things.
Exactly.
We've also got Benji in, who was with us last week, and Benji's a recovering alcoholic, and told us last week that you're 18 months into not being anywhere near alcohol. So what's your involvement with Andy's Man's Club?
So I came back to Portsmouth because of my addiction, and I had to relocate back here. And I started off at a different group called Ambition Portsmouth, and they had a men's group on a Wednesday, just a few of us, and it was based on recovery. And there was a poster up in the reception area, and I asked about it. And it gave an online, whatever you call it, I'm not very technical, but one of those things. Anyway, I typed it in, and I saw what Dave said there is Andy, who it's named after. Sadly, he did take his own life, and it was just a story there. It was heartbreaking. But it wasn't just about suicide. It was basically to get men to talk, because generally, as blokes, we don't share our emotions, especially not with each other. And it can lead to depression and eventually suicide. So what we do is just be there for each other, open up, and get others to open up. You know, and we're both facilitators at the club now through being there for a long time. So as well as talking about our situations, we're there to help support other people talk and get through their issues.
Benji, do you have empathy with suicide because you felt like that at any one time?
Yeah, I mean, there have been times when I have really hit rock bottom. I have not necessarily tried to kill myself, but I have used blades of glass and slit my arms and stuff.
Yourself,
Not necessarily with the intention of killing myself, but just sort of pain relief and maybe a cry for help, actually.
Yeah. You know? So finding Dave and Andy's Man Club has been as useful to you as it was finding Be More.
Absolutely. I mean, I mentioned last week about it bringing out, the inner me, or what people say is the real me, the old me. And it has really brought out my confidence. I mean, again, I said to you last week, if you'd seen me before, about a year ago, you wouldn't have recognised the person. I was a little shell of myself. And I've known Dave less time than what I've been at the club, but even in the time that we've known each other, I've seen the difference in myself and in Dave as well. So it really does bring you out of yourself. It makes you not happy, but okay to talk. And that is the actual mantra for Andy's Man Club, is that it is okay to talk.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's why I deliberately asked that question in the way that I did. And you are happy to talk about it, which is amazing. And back to Dave, you lead this club in the area?
I don't lead it, no. There's a group of us who help run it. Benji was already helping when I joined up as a user of the club. I haven't been there nowhere near as long as some of the guys are. It just tends to be that people seem to look at me online as the bloke who's run it. 'Cause I'm the most vocal when it comes to supporting the club on social media.
Sure.
I've only been helping out run it for a couple of months. I started attending in about, I think it was April, March time. So nowhere near as long as any of the other guys.
Have you had mental health issues yourself?
Yeah, so I've had a history. I've got PTSD. Started in 2010. I got treatment for it, all cleared up. And then a couple of years ago, everything started crashing back down again. And stupidly, I tried protecting everyone around me by holding everything in. And I kind of closed myself away from everyone, thinking I was protecting those by not showing how unwell I was. When really all I was doing is making things worse for myself and pushing the people that were closest to me further away.
Yeah, and further burying your head in the sand.
Exactly that. And I was trying all the usual therapy, which normally works really well for me. I'm the firm believer of everyone should have a therapist. You know, it's just good to talk to people. And I needed something extra. It took me about 5 weeks to even walk through the door at Andy's Man Club. It was so overwhelming, and the thought of just going into this room full of all these blokes that I didn't know.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it took a long time. And once I did, and I started opening up, I realised that talking is one of my biggest weapons against my mental health issues. And now, unfortunately for everyone around me, I never shut up.
You say unfortunately, probably the fact that you are talking is helping so many other people.
Yeah, it's I've always been an advocate for mental health. I've openly spoke about mental health struggles via music for years. And it's just, it's weird, if you put me on a stage with a microphone, I could open up and talk about anything. But when it comes to actually being real and honest to people around me,
face to face,
yeah, I would just shut off and I wouldn't talk. But now,
now they can't stop you.
Yeah, they can't stop me.
So, if somebody wanted to get in touch with you or be a part of your club, because it is Andy's Man's Club, how would they do that?
So they could reach out to us on Facebook for details.
Yeah.
They just search for Andy's Man Club or Andy's Man Club Portsmouth, or andysmanclub.co.uk. Or just come down and see us for a cuppa.
And you're at Drayton Centre?
We've got two clubs. So we help run the one in the John Pound Centre down in Portsea. And then we've got a guy called Chris who's going to be running the one in Drayton at the Community Centre. He's an absolute lovely bloke. He'll be more than welcome. He'll pop the kettle on, tea and biscuits waiting for you if you want to come in for a chat. And the way that I personally explain it to people is it doesn't cost anything. It's 2 hours of your time on a Monday. If you come along and you feel it's not for you, you've tried. No issues. You haven't got to come every week if you do like it, and it could change your life. So
also, if you come along, you don't have to talk. It's all on you.
So it's
There's no pressure, and
there's no standing up. Hi, I'm Bob, and I'm an alcoholic. There's none of that going on.
No.
So no pressure, basically.
No pressure. It's literally once you've walked through the door, that is the most pressure that you will feel. You're made to feel welcome. As facilitators, we explain a little bit about the club. We take you over to the refreshment area, tea, coffee, say biscuits, and we do sit down in a circle, you know, but that's about as far as it goes. Yeah. We do introduce ourselves if you want to.
Sure. And I guess probably some strong friendships can be made.
Oh, massively.
Definitely.
There's a saying that gets thrown around the clubs a lot, and a lot of the lads call it a brotherhood. And
yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. Since in May, I ended up in a mental health hospital just for a couple of weeks, and it was probably one of the best things I ever done. I'm really thankful. My work paid for it. It was life-changing. And in the time since I've left that hospital, a lot of the people who I'd classed as good friends before kind of distanced themselves. And the guys from Andy's Man Club are now people that, you know, we're in touch every day, we speak every day, we meet up, and they're fast becoming, you know, the closest people in my life. It's great.
It's fantastic, isn't it? I mean, there is a stigma with men and mental health. However, it takes a man to talk about it.
It's funny as well because, again, well, we're all men in here, so you probably heard two things. Man up, grow a pair. You know, they're stupid things that they're thrown around far too often, right? don't need to grow a pair. We're born with a pair. We don't need to man up. We're man. But what you do need to do is open your mouth and communicate more. Sometimes it is easier to talk to a stranger. And like Dave just said, strangers do become friendships and friendships become brothers.
That's absolutely amazing. So how long's Andy's Man Club been going, Dave? It's years, isn't it?
It's been years now,
It's a good few years, yeah. I'm not sure the exact dates of how long the organisation's been running, but numbers-wise, I know this week, all of our clubs around the country, there was, I think it was 5,130 odd blokes that attended this week.
Brilliant.
And I was just reading on some stats before I come in here, and statistically, 77% of men struggle with their mental health, yet only 40% of them men will go and speak to anyone or get help. So that's 60% of the blokes around the country who are struggling, that are suffering alone. And I think with our goal, it's no man left behind and just that one bloke to make a difference.
That's a great mantra. And many men, they're frightened of medication, but also I think friendship is a good medication.
Yeah, massively. Laughter, smiling is a really, really good medication.
Well, I wish you, true wealth with this organisation, that it grows and grows and grows.
Thank you.
And I don't mean wealth in money, I mean wealth in helping people.
That's what it's all about.
Better than money, isn't it?
Yeah.
And maybe we'll talk again, because it's an interesting subject. It's a subject we should talk about more.
Something I could talk for hours about.
And I'm glad to hear that, because we'll be getting you back in, Dave. And Benji, you've been great as well the last couple of weeks. And again, I would like you to come back in maybe a month and we'll have another chat.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Is there anything else you want to say?
No, just thank you for having us on. And if anyone is listening, don't be afraid to reach out to us. We'll try our best to help
And always remember, it's okay to talk.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much for coming in.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Bless you.
Victory.
If you've been affected by any of the subjects discussed in today's podcast, then please do not hesitate to get in touch. All the contact details for the organisation featured in today's podcast can be found in the information section for this video. If you've enjoyed watching this podcast, then make sure you click that like button and remember to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any more of our podcasts. And don't forget, you can listen in where we're busy making radio like it used to be on your DAB radio or online at victoryonline.co.uk. And you can also listen to us on your smart speaker. Just ask it to tune in to Victory Online. Thanks for watching and hope to see you again soon.